Hi, my name's Chris Smith and I'm going to tell you the story of the Stonecutter, which goes like this. Once upon a time there was a quarry, and in the quarry was a man who was a stonecutter. Every day he went there and he chipped at the rocks and the stones, making them into bricks and blocks for building. And one day he was there in the middle of the day chipping away at the rock when he just thought, why do I have to be a stonecutter? The money's bad, the work is hard, and I'm just fed up with it. It's boring. I want to do something else. I want to be something else. And he looked up at the sun beating down on his face and he thought, if only I was the sun. The sun is so big and powerful. I want to be the sun. And when he said that, up in the heavens, the goddess of wishes was listening. And she sang a little song to herself that went like this. Stonecutter, chip, chip, chip. The sun in the sky, it shines so bright. Sister cloud, she brings us rain, and the western wind blows day and night. Mountain, mountain, big and strong, the little stonecutter chips all day long. Chip, 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 chip. You want to be the sun? She said. So you will be the sun. And suddenly the stonecutter was the sun, big and round and boiling with heat and light. He floated above the earth. He thought, this is great. Look at me. I'm hot. I'm round. I'm fine. He beamed his light down on the earth and watched the leaves soak up the sun, watched the sunbathers turning brown under his blaze. He thought, great, I'm the most important thing in the world. This is good. But just then, a cloud popped up between the sun and the earth. And he thought, I thought I was the most powerful thing in the world, but that cloud is more powerful. I wish I was the cloud. And up in the heavens, the goddess of wishes, she smiled and sang a little song to herself that goes like this. Sing it with me if you like. Stonecutter, chip, chip, chip. The sun in the sky, it shines so bright. Sister cloud, she brings us rain, and the western wind blows day and night. Mountain, mountain, big and strong, the little stonecutter chips all day long. Chip, 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 chip. She says, you want to be a cloud? You are a cloud. And suddenly he was a cloud. He thought, I like this. Look at me, I'm all white and fluffy and curvy and soft. And look, there's a dry field. I think I'll rain on it. And he rained down on the field and he saw the soil soak up his moisture and the plants soak it up through their roots. He thought, yeah, this is great. I'm a cloud. I'm the best thing. But just then, along came the wind. And suddenly the cloud was getting blown here and there and everywhere. He thought, oh no, I thought I liked being a cloud, but the wind is more powerful than me. I really wish I was the wind. And then up in the heavens, the goddess of wishes sang that song again. You know it? Goes like this. Stonecutter, chip, chip, chip. The sun in the sky, it shines so bright. Sister cloud, she brings us rain, and the western wind blows day and night. Mountain, mountain, big and strong, the little stonecutter chips all day long. Chip, 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 chip. She said, you want to be the wind? You are the wind. And suddenly he was the wind and he liked it. He's whizzing here and whizzing there. He blows the windmills. He blows the hats off the people. He blows the boats across the ocean. He thought, yeah, I like it. The wind is fun. I like being the wind. The wind is the best thing. But then he came to a mountain, and the mountain, he bounced off it. It stopped him. He had to go round it. He couldn't blow the mountain out the way. He thought, that's so annoying. I thought I was the most powerful thing in the world, but that mountain is more powerful than me. I wish I was the mountain. And up in the heavens she goes, stonecutter, chip, chip, chip. The sun in the sky, it shines so bright. Sister Cloud, she brings us rain, and the western wind blows day and night. Mountain, mountain, big and strong, the little stonecutter chips all day long. Chip, 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 chip. You want to be the mountain, you are the mountain. And he was the mountain, and he liked it. Oh, I'm so strong, I'm so tough, I'm so heavy. Nothing can move me. I'm here forever. I like it. But then down at his feet, down at the bottom of the mountain, he heard a sound. It was like this. Chip, 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 chip. And he looks down, and there's a little stonecutter chipping away at him, block by block, stone by stone. And he thought, oh, I thought it was good to be a mountain, but that stonecutter is more powerful than me. If it keeps going, I'll be gone. But he'll still be there. I wish I was a stonecutter. That looks great. And up in the sky, she sings to him again. Stonecutter, chip, chip, chip. The sun in the sky, it shines so bright. Sister Cloud, she brings us rain, and the western wind blows day and night. Mountain, mountain, big and strong, and the little stonecutter chips all day long. Chip, 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 chip. And just like that, he was a stonecutter, chipping away at the rock. And he sat there with the sun on his back, and he thought, this is great. I'm a stonecutter. I've got everything inside me. The heat of the sun making food for me to eat and warming my body. I've got the air I breathe in from the wind. I've got the solid food that comes from the soil, that comes from the mountain. And I've got water inside me, in my blood, in myself. All these things are in me, and I am the stonecutter. And he skipped home that evening, happily singing his song. I'm a stonecutter, chip, chip, chip. The sun in the sky, it shines so bright. Sister Cloud, she brings us rain, and the western wind blows day and night. Mountain, mountain, big and strong, and the little stonecutter chips all day long. Chip, 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 chip. And that is the end of that. So there you are, that's the story of the stonecutter. I love that story for lots of reasons. And it's a story, once you've heard it, there's lots you can do with it. And here's 7 examples of things you might do with the story. So, first of all, you can learn to tell the story like I told it from memory, using our method to hear it, then map it, then step it, then speak it. So you've heard me tell it, then you might draw a story map like this. It's a simple picture showing what happens in the story. You can see here the stonecutter's sad, he becomes the sun, then the cloud, then the wind, then the mountains, then he goes back to being a stonecutter, but he's happy. Do a little map, it'll help you remember. And then you can step the story physically. That might be like these steps. The first step might be, oh, why am I such a miserable stonecutter? Then, oh, I like being the sun. Then, oh, it's better to be a cloud. And then, oh, how wonderful to be the wind. Oh, I prefer to be a mountain. And finally, it's good to be a stonecutter. So you can walk through the story like that, step by step, making gestures, which could be, and then sun, and then cloud, then wind, then mountain, then stonecutter, something like that. So the gestures in the body help you remember. I can't show you a long step because I can't move the camera, but you can maybe imagine it, and then when you can map it and step it, have a go at telling it to somebody or tell it to your telephone camera, and you can practice being a storyteller, telling it the way I did. After that, you might chat about the learnings with whoever you're with, your teacher, your parent. this story is full of learnings, and the big question is, why did the stonecutter start off grumpy and end up happy? What was it that happened about his ideas, his perspective, his way of looking at the world that was changed through that experience? And what can we learn from that? Big subject, nice subject. That's what the story is for. The third thing you might do is reenact the story. If you're just 2 or 3 people, one of you can tell it, and the others can physically reenact the story as it is being told, imagining being the mountain and the sun and the cloud and the wind. And then, it's a nice story for art. You could take those 4 elements, paint them. Maybe you could write a little poem about each section so you can retell the story in verse. One simple way to get started with poetry, if you're not that confident, is to use a simple word line rule to make one. So, for example, I've done a 3-4-3-4 poem pattern here to describe the sun. And this is my poem about the moment in the story when he's the sun. It goes: bright, blazing sun, bringing life to earth. Light delights plants, feeding off my warmth. So it's a little sort of way of describing that story moment for the sun. Do one of those for all the steps in the story, and you have a narrative poem that retells the whole thing. Then you might like to do a bit of singing and composing. So we have the chorus maybe for a song, which is stonecutter, chip, chip, chip. You know that one? Well, why not take that song and that rhythm and compose a song that retells the whole thing? So it could be like this. Once upon a time there was a stonecutter, chip, chip, chipping in the quarry. He was sad and he was hot. He wanted to be the sun. Stonecutter, chip, chip, chip. And the sun in the sky, it shines so bright. Like that. Make it up. Play with it. Don't worry about rhyming. And see what you get. You could think about what's in the story, what we've learned about science. You could become a professor of science and give a lecture on why we've got solids and liquids and gases and heat inside us all. That would be something for those of you who like science. And finally, last but not least, take your story map, make a plan, and write your own version. Those are 7 things you can do with the Stonecutter story. Do them or do something else, but whatever you do, I hope you enjoy this story now. So that's me. 7 things to do with the story. Have a go and let me know how it goes.